Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Did you know that you could be more self sufficient starting today? Yep. Watch this video and find out more. So, what is self sufficiency? Well, basically, it's growing or producing everything that you eat from your own garden, small holding, or homestead. And this can mean a lot of different things depending on your particular situation. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that today. So self sufficiency is a great thing for you to embark on. It makes your land work for you. And what that means is that you're producing really healthy, local food, fresh as a daisy, and that in turn will make you more healthy, improve your budgeting for your household, and it's great fun. I mean, look at this. I'm outside today, it's beautiful, and I'm just about to pick some raspberries because we're just about to have lunch. And it's costing me nothing. I don't need to travel. I know that there's no chemicals in it. What's not to like? So let's look at the main challenges towards you being more self-sufficient. Well, lack of land is the main problem that people tell me about. So if you don't have any land yourself, um, lack of investment, so you're short of cash, you might be raising a family or paying off a mortgage. That's another challenge. And you might not have you might not think you have enough existing skills to be able to produce your own food. So, the last thing, the biggest challenge is not having a plan. You don't know where to begin, you don't know where to start. This is what this video is about. So, keep watching because I'm going to tell you how you can find solutions for these challenges. Okay, number one. Even small amounts of land can produce food. I know people who produce food in grow bags in their porches, at the bottom of sunny windowsills. Everyone usually has a front garden, unless you're in an apartment. And you'll know people who have land. You'll have your parents who may have gardens. You'll have friends who aren't gardeners who have a garden. You might be lucky and be fortunate enough to have quite a bit of land, and you may be able to put up a polytunnel or a greenhouse, which will vastly increase the amount and the range of things that you can produce on your land. And number two, capital investment. So if you haven't got an awful lot of money, then you can buy second hand, or you can start to recycle and make do and mend. Now, want a compost bin and you can't afford to buy one, then make one with scrap wood. You can find loads of things on recycling sites online, um, your local classified ads, and that's a good place also to get second-hand tools. So if you really want to do it, you'll find ways of doing it, but don't let the spectre of capital investment put you off. So, composting your own waste is another step towards increasing your self sufficiency. So, this is a plastic composter I have, but if you're short of cash and you can't afford this and your local council is not giving you either free or subsidised compost bins, then make your own. The cheapest version I've seen is 4 wooden posts wrapped round with chicken wire. Now, it's not ideal, but it's a great way to start. And what can you compost? Well, you can compost leaves. You can compost kitchen scraps. Please don't put any cooked food or bones in there, please. Um, I put sheep's wool in there because I have it, and it's usually dirty with a little bit of sheep dung, and that really helps the process. Chopped nettles, they're really, really good. I don't put the roots in, and I don't put any perennial weeds in here. So vegetable peelings, leftover fruit that's gone a bit soft, inside of your Hoover bag. There's tons of things. Shredded paper, shredded cardboard. The trick is layering it. So saving your own seeds, this is going to save you an awful lot of money, and it's actually really good fun. So behind me you can see my haricot vert, or French beans, and I saved seed from the ones that I grew last year, and the trick is just making sure that they're dry enough and then keeping them damp free, and then just planting them as you would normally plant them. If you're looking at growing butternut squash, pumpkins, courgettes, anything like that, don't save your own seeds, guys. Buy a proper seed for it, because some of the crosses that you get, they're not very good for you if you've grown them from your own seed. So I always just buy the seed for my squashes and my courgettes and everything. Okay, the next way that you can be more self-sufficient is by harvesting your own rainwater. Now, this is 1,000 litre IBC container. IBC is intermediate bulk container, I think. And we harvest the rainwater via that downpipe from the roof. Now, this is a opaque colour. Preferably, I would have gone for black, but they're very hard to get here in France and quite expensive. So the red colouring that you can see is actually red algae, but that doesn't affect the plants at all. And this will fill and is really handy if I've got to water my kitchen garden, which is literally just through those trees. So we have an adapter on that, which allows me to change that for a hose adapter, and I can then use the ambient pressure in the container to water my vegetables. We eat a lot of salad, John and I, and we love tomatoes. However, if we get extra, then I process that into sauces and soup and freeze it. So I'm never really going to have a surplus of tomatoes. However, at the back you can see my courgette plant, and I think everyone who ever grows courgettes always has a surplus. But all you do is barter them or swap them with a neighbour who isn't growing courgettes. I mean, okay, so we're inside my very warm polytunnel, and you can see my recycled potting bench. Now, John made this for me out of scraps of wood that were going to get taken away and dumped anyhow, and it's a handy place for me be able to pot up seeds and little plants. I also have a little staging rack. John made this also for me, and that's handy if I've got seeds in trays to put out, and it's cost what, the cost of a couple of screws. Final thing, number 10 on the list, is making your own wine, cider, beer, or non-alcoholic drinks. Now behind me you can see a plum tree, and last year we had so many plums that I made some plum wine. Really easy, dead easy to ferment. Now, you know, it's up to your own taste. I have an orchard here and I make cider. When I lived in Cornwall, I used to make cider commercially on a small scale. And fruit gives you so much, you know. You've got fruit juice, then you've got wine. If you have a kit, you can make your own beer. We have hops here, so I use them for flavouring the beer. But I can make non-alcoholic drinks as well. I make elderflower cordial, I make blackcurrant cordial, which is really good for looking after yourself in the winter. So try and think out the box and be as self-sufficient and sustainable as you can be. Almost forgot. If you want to learn more about making your own alcoholic drinks, you need to have a look at this book. It's called Grow Your Own Booze, and it not only tells you how to make your own booze, but it tells you about how to grow things, how to forage, using flowers as well as vegetables and fruit for making wine, beer, cider, etc, etc, etc. So that's the book. I'll put a link under the video for it. Got to sell myself, guys, got to sell myself. Oh, so I'm just taking a little seat out the sun, and you can see my hot plant growing up the trellis behind us. So the big review: how much did I save by increasing my self-sufficiency? Well, I've got a bit of land here and I have sheep as well, so I'm probably doing more than an awful lot of you are. However, from the things that I mentioned in this video, I saved over £300. So I don't know what that is in dollars, but it's about €280 simply by harvesting my own water, by changing my halogen lights in this house to LEDs, and by growing soft fruit and growing my own salads. Now, that might not sound like an awful lot, but that's a weekend away. Or if you're a cheapskate like me, that's a cheap holiday for one person. But it adds up. And I think you would rather be spending money that you've been spending on household bills and spend it on something that you really, really want to spend it on. I'm sure I'm right. So, check out the 10 suggestions that I made in the video and start increasing your self-sufficiency today, because you can do it. And I've given you lots of ideas there that are easy to follow that you can start today. Start with the light bulbs. Go and have a look round your house and count how many halogen lamps you have. And then make a list, go and get LED replacements, and you will save money. You'll save money on your electricity, and you'll save money on your bulbs as well, because your LED bulbs will last longer. So, tell me in the comments what you're prepared to try. I'd love to know what you're doing, and I'd love to follow your self-sufficient journey. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. If you've liked it, please hit like. If you know anyone that would like this, please share it to them, and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you.